Remember, please hit like and subscribe for me. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go. Good morning from the States, everyone. Today's Friday, October the 21st, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. Charts by TrendSpider and gamma flows from the ever-amazing Menther Q. Today we're going to start with gold because it is doing just what we thought, getting up for the rock fight right here in the 4,000 zone. Remember, if you're going to scalp, you need to take the wicks, try the reversion trade, get out immediately, or take the wicks up into prior support, short the base, short the spike, and then get out immediately. This is going to be a very dangerous pocket, and if you are trying to hold on long for directional motion, you're going to expand your risk. What are we seeing today? We have the call wall for the weeklies, for the 0 DTEs, sitting right around $4,150. The put wall is $4,100. So we've got this $50 move, which is pretty big, really, but not for what we have going on in gold right now. It's very outsized. And what we see are the traders trying to get us above the call wall again. Remember, above the put wall again. Remember, the traders who have sold the puts want to be above that price. The traders who have sold the calls want to be below that price. Turns out people who sell the puts and sell the calls are usually the same person because they get 2x of returns if it sits in the middle. Right now we've fallen out of the pocket, and so deep dips into this space going to bring us buying formations. So what are the deep dips? Bottom of the accumulation. Here's all this inventory accumulation. 4,020. We have also this pocket of inventory accumulation that is a 1-to-1. It broke out of this area, right? You can see, let's clone the rectangle so that you can see it come down into the space, literally 1-to-1. If we clone it to the above side, we can see that it did much more than that, but that's where we're sitting right now in this big pocket between 4,150 and 3,950. So it's about, I don't know, what is that? $300, $200, something like that. Just be careful and realize the thrust upward is what they're going to be working on at this first pass. Getting up over 4,080, going to be pretty important. That is this resistance line, but they are not going to do it without a fight. There are a lot of people short, a lot of people long, and this is very savage motion. Notice we do not have a lot of power on either side. Momentum is slightly bearish, trend slightly bearish, so the bounces are going to be sell zones. That's what we're staring down. That's what I'm looking at. I would not be surprised to see it come back up into our 4,120 area. I'll move that there. What we noticed yesterday was that once we cleared 4111, we were able to get all the way up to our 4150. I thought 4180 would get tested. It did not, but we did get a test of 4170. So that tells me anything below that area, the bounce into that zone is going to create a sell zone, right? As you know, I still think it comes way down into this area. Value area low, 38.85. There's also like a 200 moving average on the day, somewhere around that zone. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, let's go to the ES. Sorry about being late. I got caught in a rabbit hole of things. All right, as we take a look at the E-mini S&P today, it is a Friday. We know Fridays have a tendency to be bullish. We have all kinds of news going on, but here's what we know. From a seasonality perspective, we've got 1 or 2 more rickety days, and then it's to the moon, Alice, okay? For those of you, I never liked that show, but I can't even remember the name of it. But you know what I'm talking about. So where are we? Top of the range, right? Where is the call wall? 6,800. What do the traders want to do? Bounce above and then reject. They don't care about the bounce above. They want to bring in the buyers who are going to get faked out and draw it back in. Where is put support? Way up here for the 0 DTE at 6,700. So that wall has been climbing through the week. The call wall for the 0 DTE has not. And I find that to be very interesting. That is literally going to shift fairly dramatically if we break out of here with any kind of structure. Now, I don't think we will. I suspect that we will come up into the range and do this kind of behavior. And so that's what we are staring down. A lot of people are thinking bearish things because of what's coming out, right? We've got tariff noise. We've got war noise. We've got all kinds of things. And people are thinking, why is the market going up? It should be going down. But see, here's what people are doing. They're saying the market should, and they're stepping in front of the rotation, and they have to buy to get out of the short. So in my mind, this is short covering that is driving price action higher. The charts are not going to lie to you in terms of directional motion. Just pay attention, right? Don't trade what you think. Trade what you see. What you think could eventually come to pass, but not until it matches what you see, or you're going to be on the wrong side of the trade. All right? What is the chart telling us? We've got bullish momentum and we have bullish trend, pullbacks or buy zones, right? So any dip that we see, where does that come in likely? Listen, look at how many hours we spent at 6,784. That's huge, right? All of this noise, inventory, accumulating, boom. This is in distribution. So how wide is the range? Let's say 20 points. How far are we away from here? 83, 20 points. That's going to be the one-to-one expansion event, that fractal motion that people sometimes overly complicate, but that's really what we're seeing, right? That is what we're seeing. Now, if we come back and we lose this box, dip buying is still going to be there, and that number is going to be around 67.50. All right? If per happenstance we break out to the top, this would be the first time we're up over, and it's been how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 2 weeks inside of one range, and this is the range that we carved our way through. It took us 2 weeks. It took us 1 day to move down and 2 weeks to move back up to the top. To me, that bodes a little weakness, but it's still very likely to punch out of this range if we use this box. And I know today's video is going to be a little bit long because of me trying to do this stuff. Oh, for goodness sakes. Let's say that's the box. Let's give it the first angle. We've got a gamma line above there. So 68.36 to 68.25, right? That's what we're staring down. I expect a retest of this motion, but I got to tell you, people are trading the headlines and they're having to buy to cover. And that is what we are seeing, okay? So we're going to go until we go. Just pay attention. Higher lows, higher highs, pullbacks are going to be buy zones. Simple as it gets. Easy peasy. Doesn't mean that trading is easy. We just have to pay attention to what we're seeing. Take a look. Here we have, we're breaking out above this area. So sellers are going to come in at the top. No doubt about it. They are. They're going to come in. For the love of Pete. Me and my Shrek fingers. Okay. If we're staring this down and we move here, The call wall is 25,500. The 0 DTE call wall is 25,250 here in the NQ. We are well above that call wall. What are they going to try and do? Force the action up, an exhaustion move, and then try to pull it back down. If we cannot get underneath this call wall today, they're going to be scrambling to the upside. It would not be a surprise to see 25,500. That's not very much movement for the NQ, but you can see the heavy congestion. First passes to the top.
Unknown caller.
First pass to the top, going to be resistance. Pullbacks are buy zones. Where are the pullbacks? Potentially the call wall, 25,250. Where is the put wall? 24,600. That's pretty far away in my mind. So again, they're looking at what's happening with tech. They're looking at rotations. They're thinking weakness. They're selling the space and having to buy to cover, right? That is significantly what is happening here. We had a little bit of volume motion right here that was a little bit outsized, and that pressure point allowed the pullback to be a buy zone. And so what is that secondary pullback event? Let's use this guy. Top of the box, 25,100. All right, so dips or buys, watch for congestion, anticipate the first thing that they'll do is try to have an exhaustion move that will pull back into heavy congestion. Dips are where you can really load the boat here. And if it holds, all you got to do is walk your stop up, right? It would be very nice if we saw ourselves in an early morning dip that moved forward instead of just this grind up to the north. It is what it is, though. Let's take a quick look at oil. Oil sitting up, as you recall, yesterday I said, what I want to see is a test of this 62.50, and that would be my short. I forgot to put it on, like a knucklehead. And so I'm going to look for a pullback to go long now, simply because we've gotten to the top of the range, and this could be an inverted head and shoulders pattern, right? If the war machine bangs on, 65 is still our weekly and monthly call wall. Our put wall is still down here at 67.50. And for the weekly and monthly, it's still at 55. I expect that to roll up if this price action is real. That's what we're looking for. Trend up, momentum up, dips are buys. The reflexive move up here is the scalp short. It's not there anymore. So the pullback is going to be the long action into, let's see, old resistance, new support. Let's look for the anchored VWAP area at around 63.50 with a probable stopping point at $63. All right, that's what we're staring down. Finally, let's take a look at SPY. SPY up out of the box. Look at this bottom trend line. That's just holding like a champ. Look at that thing. Of course, I don't trade trend lines. Just definitely want to see what's going on. We are outside of value area high. First stopping formation, call wall, 675. That's what we're staring down, 675. And what are we going to look for from there? A move to the upside if, where is the real congestion level? I don't like this box. Let's take this box off. Oh, for goodness sakes, I'm just going to draw another box. This is the box that I actually think that we're in. Crowdsickles. Yeah, I think we're in this box. So if we clone it, and we move it to the upside of motion, it is giving us 676. If we draw Fibonacci on the wave, and I don't know, don't know how good this is going to be. It gives us 677 to 682. I would not be surprised if we see 700 or even 710 by the end of the year. Not going to go up in a straight line, of course, but this is what we are staring down, right? Dips or buys. 670 looks like an ideal area, but value area high at 671.50 could give us the long action event. Solid momentum. Watch for the dips and stay alert. All right. Take care, everybody. I'll see you on the streams.